Dumelang and hello. Welcome to Sports Wrap on UJTV. This is the #1 show that keeps you updated and up to date with everything trending in the streets of sports. My name is Mpumelelo Dlamini, here to rock it with you. Please make sure that you use the hashtag SportsWrap on all our social media platforms. We are UJ_sports as well as UJTV. Well, with no further ado, let's get right into it. I have the UJ Sheriff. When I go 012, the English goes a brrrr.
Lelo, off air, you were fighting with me about my cap, but now you just call me a sheriff.
Hey, it's fine.
But you must understand, we just came from war. So I must be on, you know what I mean? I must be on.
It's okay. How are you?
I'm lovely. Thank you so much for having me back here. I missed you last week. But it
okay.
is what it is. We're back on, eh? We're back on.
And on my further side, we have Mr. Barak, sir, the social media manager and content creator. David, Mr. Barak, sir.
Look, I couldn't be more happier, to be here today after a very, very, very interesting weekend. But another week and we go again.
That's the only thing I need to do. But gentlemen, I know we're all green and gold right now. But highlights of the week, it can be anything. Anything.
So my highlight of the week, since we are an institution of learning, will be the 3 rugby players, one of them may be ex, who recently graduated. Congratulations, Lilo, on your graduation. We are so proud of you. So yes, congratulations to Lilo on her graduation. That's definitely my highlight of the week. Also the captain, Calvin Kanenungo and Likaya Tengimfene. So absolutely proud of them. How do you say it in Zulu? So definitely. Yeah, that's my highlight of the week.
Oh my God, thank you very much.
Don't cry.
I'm trying so hard.
So emotional. Well, I think for me, I'll take it back, to the rugby field. Obviously, we've just wrapped up the Rugby World Cup. And, on Sunday, the awards were held. So for me, I'll give my highlight to Mark Talia. He's a wing centre fullback for the New Zealand. He won the men's 15th breakthrough player of the year. And I think the award says, to me also, to the people, winning the award, it means you coming through the ranks, you are being seen, in terms of how you play. I think Talia, he was impactful in the New Zealand attack. For me, when he got the ball on the wing, I was thinking, what is he going to do next? But I think playing 4 games, starting all of them, scoring 3 tries and having 2 try assists, and making a crucial statement. Like he carried meters of about 392 meters, which is an average of 98 per game. So he was impactful in the New Zealand's attack. And I think also looking back at how Apiwe Janji won the same award in 2018, and Herschel Yankees, who's a scrummer for the Stormers, was nominee in 2019. So I think it's good. So he's possibly one of the guys who's going to be on the radar for some time in the coming few years. So
A very tough one.
I actually want to ask, because during the Rugby World Cup, let's not lie, we had a lot of fans.
Yeah.
So is it the one with the cheese cup?
Yeah.
You can't tackle him. Fella, you try to tackle him, you say char on that cheese cup.
That's the one.
Now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But honestly, my highlight has to go to the South African teams. We have the Spar Proteas that recently just competed. That was amazing. You have the women's, the VXV, that actually qualified and still maintained their log standings within the VXV times 2. So as well as the Springbok, 1 point means a lot. Unfortunately, you need that 1 point to save the semester as well. But we are here once again.
You would know.
Cricket as well. Nerve-wracking.
Yeah, 1 by 1 wicket as well.
Lena would know about 1 point. Actually, she just graduated. She knows a lot about 1 mark, 1 point.
It's very crucial. But let's get right into the results of this past week.
And in this weekend's results, I'm sure the Orange Army will be happy to see the boys finally coming alive in the ABC Motsepe League up against Noane Gunners, winning 5-1. Happy and proud of the boys. Now moving over to hockey, in the SGHA Indoor Hockey, the UJ men thumped Shumba Hockey 13-1. And in their other game, they thumped MCCA 11-1. And moving over to cricket, in the Enza Premier League A, the Rain Gods were not with us as the UJ Premier League A took on the defending champions Dalfos Premier A, bowling them out for 187 for 10. And just before the rain delayed, UJ were 33-1. That match ending up in a draw. And in the Premier League B side, the same thing happened when the UJ Premier League B side took on the Crescents Premier B and putting on a total of 225 for 10 wickets. And just before the rain delayed, they had the Crescent side 23-5, and that match also ending up in a draw.
And from another interesting weekend we've just had, I'm hearing double-digit 1 point there by the hockey indoor men. David, interesting one. I really want to know.
Yeah, look, the UJ men's hockey are currently busy with the SGHA indoor, league, and having 2 fixtures on a Sunday, and they did absolutely amazing with the results. Winning a 13-1 against the Shumba Hockey A side, as well as 11-1 against the Morningside Country Club hockey side. So I think they had a great day, on a Sunday, and definitely, the scores are ridiculously big. But I think dominance, and you can just tell they were the better teams on the day, and we take the win.
Cody, I just want to know, as a UJ sheriff, have you actually gotten a chance to watch the men and the women hockey?
When I was first introduced to UJ Sports, UJ Hockey had just recently won the varsity hockey tournament. So at the time, hockey was what we spoke about. So I have watched them. I know the varsity tournament is men, then the following year is women, men, then women. So we've been unfortunate to not see all of that, but I have watched a bit of it, and the scores, the one is on the other side this time. So, it doesn't really matter if you really watch a lot, but you're gonna have fun there. So, I need to do better.
We plead with you, our sheriff, please.
I like how you guys commit yourselves to, support the UJ sport teams. It's really lovely to hear.
No, it's a part. We are family. We are one.
True.
An institution of excellence.
David wants to expose us.
But with no further ado, crickets. It made the headlines this past weekend, winning by 1 wicket. And then we come back to the University of Johannesburg.
I think an unfortunate weekend for the boys. They had it, but the Rain Gods just said no. We were well on our way to win both the 2 games that we had this weekend with the Prem A and the Prem B side playing in the time cricket format. The Prem A side playing against Dalfos, who are the current champs from the 2022-23 seasons, bowling them out for 187. And just as we went into bat, the Rain Gods just said no, thank you. And the Premier B side, they scored 225 up against Crescent, who they will be taking. They'll be playing against them in the semi-finals of the Black Widow Cup. In that game, they scored 225 performances by Bonga Makaka, a Grati, and a very well-thought inning from him. 42 of 78 balls, and the captain, JP Kutia, 84 of 119. Great, but also got 5 wickets, and the Rain Gods came. So, unfortunately, we got draws this weekend. So,
I could say a draw is better than a loss. David, you can testify to that.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a bummer, speaking about cricket, but looking at specifically the Prem B game, by the time, the Rain obviously tested the game was called off.
Yeah.
Crescent had only 23 runs.
Yes.
But we had already taken 5 wickets.
5 wickets.
So you can tell already that particular game, it was gone in favor of UJ. But again, we will accept the draw because, the situation was out of our control. And we just have to prepare for the upcoming weekend fixtures and just, keep doing good.
No matter, it's fine. We took a wicket there by the Proteas. It's fine.
The win is the
okay.
win. The win is the win.
It's okay. But also, speaking about a win is a win. We
Yeah.
played ABC Motsepe on Wednesday. We played ABC Motsepe on Saturday.
Yeah.
But the nicest part about this, Saturday's score was 5-1 against Sinawone Gunners FC. And then on Wednesday, it was a 0 draw. Results. We were crying 2 weeks back. Now we are smiling.
Yeah, look, I think once again it's quite difficult playing 2 fixtures in the space of like 3-4 days. You know, the boys are scholars, but the ability to pitch, you know, on a particular day and still do good is commendable. Playing away from home on a Wednesday and settling for a point. I mean, it counts for something. It's better than a loss, way better. And coming home, on a Saturday and doing absolutely amazing, scoring 5 goals on home soil and conceding only 1, we can take the win, And I think I saw our senior director said on social media, we are back to our winning ways.
Yes.
So we've been crying for a win, and we are eventually, or we are finally picking our momentum. So obviously we can only hope that we stay here, and we keep building. But I think the boys are doing very well so far. Scoring more goals each game and every chance they get. So I think we are happy. We're happy with the results, and yeah.
And Lucky, from my side, I would say beating a team that was initially in this league prior to us.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I mean, I'm gonna jump into, it's exam season for the students now. So I think maybe we must play all our games during exam season. Clearly the boys are taking it out on the field, and for us to perform the way we did, beating a team that's already been in the league, you can't ask for more. We are proud of the gents. We know there's a lot on their shoulders in terms of studies and training and all of that. So I'm happy. I'm proud of them. And onwards from here. Hopefully more wins, less L's. Maybe 1 or 2 draws we'll take, but more W's would do great. So yeah, I'm absolutely proud of the boys.
And Mr. Barks, so just remind us, how many games left?
We played 6 games, so we potentially have just about maybe 26, 28 games. I'm not sure, but just around there.
So this league will continue into the next coming year
It will continue to next year. I think we're going to finish around April, May, if I'm correct, somewhere there, because we play both home and away fixtures. So we're still going to meet the teams again. They have a chance to redeem themselves, but we're not going to allow them.
Yes.
But yeah, it's still a very long way to go. And I mean, I think what's good is also looking at UJ, seeing them move up, the log table bit by bit. And also, we just about I think 34 days, until the USA champs. And what's also good about the UJ team is players are returning from injury, so we can say the squad is getting stronger.
And it's giving them time as well to just have some game time.
Yeah, true.
And this USA that is coming up.
I just have one question before we move on.
What?
Since you are the graduate here, do you have any special exams in January?
We should have.
So that means we'll continue with our winning ways.
Minus one problem. Minus one problem. But I do not vouch for those special exams.
Okay. Now back to your question on how I feel about USA in December.
Yeah.
Just like David mentioned, it's exciting, from varsity football into the league, it's the Motsepe League, into the Motsepe League. I think it's great preparations for a tournament of such magnitude. I think we all know that you have to do well at USA in order to qualify for varsity football. Yeah. So I think we couldn't have asked for better preparations for that tournament. The boys might be excited for the beach. The boys might be excited to be out of town for a little bit. You can take snaps while you're in Cape Town and act like you're on holiday. Yeah. But the job and the mandate remains clear. Yeah. We're there to qualify for varsity football, and I think preparations are going well. We're back to our winning ways, so I'm very confident that the boys will do well.
David, I just want to know, just give us a few and a bit of insights. How's the team looking from the men's and the ladies' side?
Yeah, I think more concrete, like I said, specifically with the men's team, the boys are returning from injury, so which is good. The squad is getting stronger, and it means now the coaches have more option. Obviously, of who to pick, you know, in terms of the best squad possible. Similarly with the ladies, obviously the league is about to end, just you know, under 4 games left, you know. So I think it will allow both sides more time to focus, you know, on USA preparation specifically. And I think we can definitely be confident that we will take the strongest soldiers down, you know, to the Cape. The UJ are the defending champs, so the target is obviously on our backs.
Once again.
Once again, but that is definitely no pressure. Looking at the groups and our group stage opponents, honestly, I'm not faced.
There you go.
Sorry.
I'm not faced, but we'll take it one game, you know, at a time, and we'll start talking more serious chess when we get to the playoffs, and hopefully we can defend the titles.
And be sure to stay tuned onto our social media platforms. We will give you the insight, the score updates, the player of the matches, the player of the tournament. We will keep you informed. But let's have a look at this upcoming fixtures.
And upcoming on the UJ's calendar, please do make sure that you have your dresses ready and your suit ready for the UJ Sports Gala for the year 2023. This will take place on the 21st of November 2023. Of course, this will be a hybrid event, so all of this will be covered for you on UJ Sports and UJTV.
And gentlemen, in the spirit of winning, I really want to know. We're going to play a game, hit or miss. What stuck out for you through the World Cup? Any team, anything that actually stuck out for you? And miss, what didn't slap the way that you wanted it to slap? So in other words, what didn't meet your expectations? So we can start with the Sheriff.
Oh.
What's your hit for the World Cup?
Put me on the spot. I would say something that, you know, I think it goes deeper than just the sport, but also, you know, the courage and the heart that the people have for the game. It had to be the France captain, Dupont, having suffered a very, I would say, maybe not in rugby terms because there's worse injuries, but you know, for soccer players maybe, I can say it out loud. Having suffered an injury, he broke his cheekbone against our extended country, Namibia. He broke his cheekbone and went into surgery a day later. And it was supposed to take him out for approximately 8 weeks.
Yeah.
But for him to show character and show heart and actually get back into the game 2 weeks, which is 6 weeks less than what it was supposed to be, and play the way he did, that was just unbelievable. I fell in love with the game all over again. It just made the World Cup what it is.
Yeah.
That's why we pay the big bucks to watch, you know. So that was just brilliant from him, and you know, to fight with the team until the end. You could see when they played us in the semis, quite emotional. So I was quite happy with, you know, to see that it's not only just for themselves, but for the whole country, for the whole nation at large. So that was my definite highlight of the World Cup.
Oh, spectacular. And David?
Almost touching. Hey, I was about to cry. I think for me, what stuck it out, I'll go with Fiji. Probably came into the World Cup as an underdog, you know. It's just one of those nations that people already write them off before they even make it far. You know, but playing 4, winning 2, losing 2, you know, finishing with 11 points on the log, and obviously advancing to the quarterfinals. That was very great, you know, and just leading up to the quarterfinals, I think one of their props, San, passed.
Yeah.
And the champ, you know, chose to stay in the fight instead of going back home for the burial. Crucial decision. I don't know what I would have done. But I think looking at the quarterfinal performance, you know, Fiji losing to England by just 6 points, very courageous, you know, because England definitely was one of the teams to, you know, reckon with. But I think Fiji put up a good fight. In my view, watching the game, I think they let themselves down, you know, with the attack. They didn't know how to move the ball, to penetrate England, because they did make crucial meters getting into the crucial areas, your 5 meters, your 10, your 22, but they didn't know how to finish. And that's where they lost the game. But I think the fighting spirit and the courage to literally play up to that far and, correct the statements of people writing them off is something, you can ride home with. And they can be proud of themselves, in my view. And hopefully in the next World Cup, they can definitely keep up the momentum and build from there.
Most definitely. And my highlight of the tournament would actually be, as a rugby player myself,
Yeah.
your 7-1 split.
Oh,
Yeah.
We can really dive deep into 7-1 split, but only those that understand the game would actually say it was really a tough one.
True.
And for us to win all those games with the 7-1 split, it's a lot of courage.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of courage. And to be successful with the 7-1 split, there's nothing else to complain about.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, if you look at it, the 7-1 split was used once in the Rugby Championships when we played New Zealand.
And it worked.
And never again. And then it was used in the World Cup final. So you can say that was a risk move, but it really speaks a lot about the analysis of the Springboks technical team. And definitely it worked very well for the team. But like you say, those who know the game would understand better. Because maybe someone sees a reserve backline player, I1, on the bench, and you think, what if someone gets injured? But you forget that the backline that's starting are utility players. They can rotate and play 2 or more positions. So I think that was a very risky move. But if you understand the game, you will probably calm like myself.
Against New Zealand once again, 7-1 split, it's fine. We're going to leave it there. But your miss of the tournament. I want to know your miss of the tournament.
I would say Australia.
Yeah.
I think having Eddie Jones as their coach, you would have expected so much more. And for the performance they put out, rather disappointing. I expected a lot more from them. So for them to go out in the manner that they did and the manner in which they played, I'm not sure if there's an understanding, because, correct me if I'm wrong, David, maybe I am wrong. I think Australians are a little bit soft, and Eddie Jones' way of coaching might have been different from what they used to, and it maybe hasn't clicked. I know a lot of New Zealand people are happy. They say he must stay there because they're not progressing, but we all know Eddie Jones. He's a fantastic coach, a fantastic mentor. So hopefully in the next World Cup, whatever he wants, because he played with a lot of young players, whatever he wants will come true. But my miss would be Australia's performance.
I think Mr. Jones, with the caliber of the coach he is, I just want to add, I think maybe sometimes people have expectations on people. He has just taken over a particular nation's team. We can ask, how long do you need to prepare a team for World Cup to play the way you want them to play, to get them where you want to get them? How long was he at England for him to perform the way England performed previously?
Fair enough.
We'll pass. We'll pass.
He's coming here with his analysis.
I'm just saying people mustn't be too hard or sometimes. Just try to understand where it all comes from. This is not to the public, not you. For me, I think the miss will go to Namibia, watching their games and looking at their defense, I'm thinking, guys, this is where you're losing the game. But again, I try to dive, deeper and try to understand maybe, the dynamics of the team. Also, the coach being led, by Coach Alistair Coutier, who obviously also has positive records, with SA previously. And when a man of his caliber takes over a nation like Namibia, people see hope and thinking, okay, you're going to do better. And I think obviously them qualifying is a step as well. But I think for me, Namibia probably definitely needs to work harder on their defense, because I think the score margins are just too loud. And that's not what you want, on your shoulders in a World Cup. So I think they are a builder nation, but if they can just work better, and fix those things, then maybe they can become a better competitive going forward, and they can maybe be a better team.
Yeah. I would say I have 2 misses, but my first miss is the most important one. It doesn't really matter how old you are, how long you've been in the game, but the amount of high tackles, head injuries we've actually encountered
Yeah.
throughout. I don't know if maybe there's something more we can do to just lessen those chances. I'm talking about the yellow cards and the red cards that came out of a final.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
prior to that, how many more games did we also have with yellow cards and red cards? But nonetheless, my other miss was our president promising us our president promising us a public holiday. And
we are here.
And we are here. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me today. A very lovely one, high spirits, and all the best for the future. And from our side, we say siyabonga to everyone who has tuned into the show. Until next time, sithi siyabonga. My name is Mpumelelo Dlamini, and I am all that underscore sis. Until next time, goodbye.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.